Meteorologist Alex Williams with you in the Weather Impact Alert Center. And yes, it is a Weather Impact Alert Day. We are going to be dealing with at least the chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms that could become strong severe, with the main threat being damaging wind, maybe some small hail, and localized very heavy rainfall. And so that's all what we're tracking on this Weather Impact Alert. Here is a look at the actual alert itself. Go full graphics here for you. So again, the main threat is going to be damaging wind, heavy rainfall. What do you need to do? Just watch the radar as we go through the evening. Storms are going to develop, and they're already starting to develop. I'll show you that in just a moment. We'll do a quick radar tour into our foothills. And those storms are going to march out of the foothills to the east-northeast. As they do so, they will then put out outflow boundaries. Outflow boundaries will be able to kick off additional scattered showers and thunderstorms, and those will be able to take advantage of the hot and humid conditions that we have. So because of that, we're issuing the weather impact alert for the damaging wind and the heavy rainfall. Also, heavy rainfall will be something we'll have to watch out for because these storms have that tropical moisture. It is humid outside if you haven't noticed, and the storms will take advantage of that and be able to put down very heavy rainfall in a short amount of time. So that is why we have the weather impact alert. Let's go ahead and look at what we've got going on and brewing right now. And again, it's just a few scattered showers here towards the foothills. Now, interestingly enough, about an hour ago, I was watching it and storms were trying to form. You can see them bubbling up and then kind of falling apart and not really exploding up through what we call the cap, or the kind of the lid on the storms. And so once we take that lid off, the storms are able to develop, and we have definitely effectively done that into parts of the foothills. Right now, the rest of the Triad, very quiet. Yadkinville getting some of those showers there in Yadkin County, as well as up into the southern portions of Surrey County. So we're getting a little bit of shower activity there. And then just north of King, maybe some redevelopment, as well as a little bit of a shower towards the northern portions of Stokes County. So again, all of this activity pretty much concentrated right across your foothills. A pretty good heavy downpour here. Let's take a zoom in really far in there. Highway 67, just passing the interstate near Arena. That is definitely going to be some extremely heavy rain. You can see the core on that red color with the lightning. So lightning is going to be a concern as well. That's heading towards Nebo, Forbush, right along Highway 67 towards 601. And just north of Yadkinville. So if you're in that area, watch out. You're going to be getting some thunderstorms and some heavy rain, maybe some gusty winds as well. Not seeing any warnings on that just yet, but the day has just started as far as our convective temperature has been reached, and we're going to start to see these storms continue to grow, as we call it, upscale growth, or storms that kind of pop and then grow into big clusters and move over to the same areas, putting out outflow boundaries, and those outflow boundaries, of course, are what kick off the rest of the storms. So right now, the rest of the Triad is very quiet. What are we watching? Well, we're watching there's our threat. But here's our scattered showers over the last couple of hours. You can see those developing along the foothills here, and we'll start to see some of this development in the Triad probably over the next couple of hours. And then you can see these scattered showers and thunderstorms. These are lifting off to the northeast, so they're not heading our way. What we're going to have to watch out for is all of this stuff to our south, and that's developing to our south, because these will be able to march up through the Charlotte area and up into the Triad. And then eventually the front itself is still back off towards the west. And the Chattanooga area actually had an active tornado warning about a couple of minutes ago, maybe 30 minutes ago now, that it has downgraded into a severe thunderstorm warning. That's good to see. But that's right along the front. And so, because of the heat, because of the humidity, it is hot out there and humid. We are looking at a 2 out of 5 for strong to severe storms. Let's go ahead and look outside, shall we? There is Winston-Salem. Looking pretty nice. We have flat bottom cumulus clouds. And so they've basically been fair weather friends, right? We're not seeing anything too threatening there yet. However, we're starting to see a little bit bigger and deeper cloud development into some of the mountain areas, the foothills. Those will be moving off the foothills and into the Triad. And then we will see the clouds grow big and tall and strong and mean as we go through the evening hours. 90 right now at PTI. A dew point of 67 makes it feel like 93, so there is a heat index that we have to deal with. Pressure is falling, and we'll continue to watch it fall as the front approaches the area. Southwest winds are also pretty strong. We're seeing gusts right now at about 14 miles an hour, and if we look at the current conditions here, In fact, I'll pull up the heat index for you. So there's the actual air temperature. I'll put that back on here in just a minute. Let me grab this. I'm going to show you the current feels like. All right, let's go back to our little map here. So lower 90s, middle 90s across some of the far eastern portions of the Triad, right? So we're seeing from Reidsville to Burlington down to Siler City. We're in the like mid 90s there. RDU at 92, Sanford, Lee County at 94, Pinehurst coming in at 95. So yes, it is hot out there. And not only is it hot, it's humid, which means it's going to feel hotter than that. And indeed, especially to the south, we're seeing close to 100-degree temperatures is what it feels like outside, thanks to all that humidity. Siler City to Burlington feeling like the upper 90s as well as back towards RDU. Lexington feeling closely upper 90s as well. And again, feeling around 93 into Greensboro. And again, the sensor in Winston-Salem has been fixed and replaced, but they're doing a airport improvement project there, I guess, with the tower. The tower is down, and that's what reports the weather. So we're waiting for the tower to come back up in Winston-Salem, and then we'll be able to get the temperature reading back on there as well. So I just wanted to let you know that. We're not skipping you on purpose. We just don't have the data right now. So let's talk about the severe threats. Not really a huge threat, but interesting to note because it was added today is we're in the 5% risk for seeing damaging hail up to about a quarter inch in diameter. And so a quarter, size of quarters, right, falling from the sky. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about this low end hail risk. You would have to get a really, really strong storm to be able to get tall enough to tap into some of the cooler air and create some of that hail and bring it on down to the surface. Damaging wind risk is going to be by far the greatest risk. Of 15% chance of damaging winds within 25 miles of a point. So you can pick any point in a triad or the triangle or down to the Charlotte area, and within 25 miles of that point, you have about a 15% chance of seeing winds up to about 60 miles an hour. And that straight line wind threat is definitely something we want to take very seriously. There's still some dry air. There's dry air up aloft, and that gets put into the downdraft, and then with the rain that comes down and hits the ground, it spreads out, called as microbursts, right, or downbursts. And so there's the concern of downburst winds there, obviously, but also just the wind coming out of the storms. As those outflow boundaries push through, they can kick up some strong winds as well. So we'll just have to watch as we go through the evening. Now, I know many of you are like, what is the timing for this? So here's a nice little graphic that breaks down all the threats for you and the timing. So we're looking at from about 2 o'clock, so we're already within the time frame, all the way through 10 o'clock, folks. That's the chances of us seeing these scattered showers and storms. So it's not a short-lived threat. It is going to last through almost midnight, just to about the 10 o'clock hour. And again, moderate threat for damaging wind up to 60 miles an hour. Some small hail, maybe up to the size of quarters. Tornadoes, not really a concern today. Flooding, it's in the isolated range. We do have a 1 out of 4 for some of those flooding concerns, and I'll show you that here in just a moment. Let me pull that up for you. Let's see, go back to this, and then I'll pull up your flooding outlook here. So here's our flooding outlook. We're at a 1 out of 4, so this means isolated instances of flash flooding are possible across the Triad and into the foothills in western North Carolina as well. So keep that in mind, that you get some of those storms to move over the same areas, especially with this northeasterly storm motion, so where they're moving from the southwest to the northeast. That southwest to northeast training motion, all those storms moving over the same area, that could lead to isolated flash flooding, and that's why that is a risk. All right, let's time this out for you. Looking at Futurecast, remember this is just one model solution. There are other solutions that could be slightly different on who gets the heavy rain, who gets the storms. What you're getting is the flavor, as Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley likes to say, right? The flavor of the area. So we're kind of getting the flavor. What is going to happen here? We're going to get storms to pop off in the foothills. That's already happening. And then they're going to kind of cluster up, maybe line out a little bit, and they're going to move into the Triad. When could we start to see those move into the Triad? Probably around 6, 7, 8 o'clock. So right in time for our evening commute, right? Everybody heading home from work, unfortunately, or heading to work if you work the night shift. you're going to have to contend with the potential for very heavy rainfall, lightning, and some very strong winds coming through the area. And so that's 8 o'clock, but notice all the storms back off to the west that we still have to have come through. So those don't really clear the area until 10 o'clock. Now, the storms that do form early, those will have the better potential to be those strong, severe storms because it saps the atmosphere of energy. So as we go further on in time, those storms will start to get a little weaker as they won't have quite as much energy. But I will tell you, it is very humid outside, and that humidity can act as instability in the absence of, say, solar heating, right? So the sun heats everything up, that destabilizes the atmosphere. But we also have moisture, and that moisture can act to destabilize the atmosphere as well. And that's going to be sticking around all night. So you will have the potential, at least, of seeing some thunderstorms through the overnight as well. Past that, we are looking at a cooler day into the day tomorrow. I think we'll see some morning scattered showers. And even as the front comes through, maybe a few thunderstorms, I think the better chance for the stronger storms tomorrow are going to be east of I-95. That's where the lower marginal risk is for the day tomorrow. So beaches, watch out. You could have some stronger storms there. For us, not so. So as we go into the day tomorrow, again, it is going to be noticeably cooler. We're talking the lower 80s. And until that front pushes through, we're not really going to dry out the air that much. It might still be a little humid in the morning. Temperatures, though, in the lower 80s. We'll take a break from the heat while we have it into Tuesday and into Wednesday. So lower 80s, potentially into the day tomorrow. By Wednesday, we're looking more like the middle 80s. And then by the time we get into your Thursday, we're back to the 90s, right? And then into Friday, into Saturday, we're going to continue to see the heat stick around for quite some time. So that's kind of what we're dealing with. Tracking the dew points for you real quick, and then we'll look at rain chances, and I'll wrap things up here for you. So as we go into our Tuesday, again, kind of today into Tuesday, ahead of the front, we're going to have that moisture pooling along it, and so that's what kicking off the storms. So we're going to see the humidity kind of tick up, and then it drops, right? So probably the second half of your Tuesday and into your Wednesday, you're definitely going to feel very comfortable outside. Then the humidity comes right back again as we go into Thursday, into Friday, into Saturday, into Sunday, as the pattern will lend itself to at least seeing some of those scattered showers and storms. Obviously, the best chances are today, not so much Thursday into Friday. So we're basically going to see a system come through today into tomorrow, and then we're going to get a break Wednesday. And then Thursday into Friday, another little weak system comes through, and that's going to kick off at least some isolated activity. Along with that, it will be very hot. So just keep that in mind. So that's what we've got going on. Let's check in on radar here real quick. And we're going to have all the latest for you on all of the shows tonight, the 4, the 5, the 5:30, the 6. I'll be here for Weather Impact. And then we will be doing periodic updates on Plus. I'll be sharing that on my socials so you can see the timing on that, and you can get your updates on WFMY Plus as we continue to do these breaking updates as we go through the evening. So again, looks like that storm's kind of fizzled out, really hasn't matured 100%, but there's more storms crossing the mountains, and there's more storms to our south, so we'll have to watch those as we kind of pop in and go out as we go through the evening. So I will leave you with our 24/7 radar app. It's a great tool to have to be able to track storms tonight on WFMY Plus. It's free. It's an added benefit of having the app on your TV. So when you're not watching these cut-ins, you can just watch the radar and see where the storms are developing and if they're going to threaten your area. Have ways to receive alerts. We'll continue to keep you updated on the 4, 5, 5:30, the 6 on WFMY on CBS. And so we'll see you then. Stay safe this evening.